morning, welcome to another In Focus with myself, Eddie Skelson. Today I'm in Gradbach, which is just outside of Leek, right next door to the Roaches, and it's a really nice morning. Well, it's a comparatively nice morning because it's spent the last week being absolutely freezing cold with snow. There's still quite thick ice around here, so it must have really copped for it. And but today, no, it's actually quite warm, and I think I've overdone the layers, but I bet to have more than not enough. I'm heading towards an iconic bit of scenery in the Roaches, and I kind of hoped I'd going to catch the fog. It's been really foggy. When I was driving here, I could barely see a couple of feet in front of the car. It was rough, but unfortunately the fog, which you might be able to see just above the trees there, it was blanket thick when I arrived, and it's moved so fast that I can't waddle fast enough to keep up with it. So sadly, it looks like I'm not going to get any foggy backgrounds, which is a bit disappointing. And I didn't come out early for the sunrise because I knew there wasn't going to be one, at least not one I could see. Anyway, today I'm hoping to get a few drone shots of the Roaches, which I've already shot quite a bit, but not this end of it, and to get some shots in Lud's Church, which is a spectacular fracture in the earth. It's not super long, but it's so strange and mysterious, and again, it's one of those places a bit like Three Shires Head that I visited, where I think it's almost impossible to get bad shot. So let's see how I do. You're on the way to Lud's. It's really pretty. You can hear the wildlife. Birds are singing along, hoping that spring is on its way, and there's some great scenery to take a look at, maybe get a few shots. Again, would have been better if that fog had stuck around, but there's some lovely trees. Get the old classic straight lines photograph. River running by. I can't remember which one this is. I should know. The Dane or the Dern or the Dawn or the Damned if I know. I don't know. One of the things I like to look out for is grand old trees. See these bad boys, and with fantastic root systems. Look at that one there, all that green moss, almost fluorescent against the the sort of dull bark. Amazing. Again, with a bit of fog, there's a shot there, but I don't know if there is. I don't know if I'm going to get the camera gear out for this, but I'll do an iPhone shot and see what I can come up with. I'm already out of breath. I've barely walked. I've come a tiny little bit of a way up a hill, but I thought I'd stop here. So here's another one of those trees with fantastic roots and the green moss. If I just come around this way, I could use that there as a leading line up to the tree, and there's the fog behind it. I'll go into some detail. I hope you've seen it a million times about why things like mist is good, fog, even light rain snow, is because it gives texture to your images and a sense of depth, and can also be a bit mysterious too, which is never to be underestimated. But I'm not going to get the gear out for this. Again, it's not my goal. The fact that there is fog here means I should keep walking and try and get to my destination as fast as possible. But I'm going to whip the iPhone out and take a shot of it, see how it comes out. Again, that's the beauty of it. Don't pass up the chance to catch a shot that you're not sure about at the time. It's something like a phone. I keep saying iPhone, that's just what I've got, but it could be anything. Take that picture, see how it turns out. Why not? Trees are just wonderful, absolutely wonderful. Well, I'm almost there, and this is looking promising. Fog. Dronie gets to be star for a moment. Today you can see that he's got these prop guards on, and the reason for this is not so much to protect the drone, but to protect the walls that it's going to fly down. I'm going to be super careful today, no fancy shots, because one of the beautiful things about Lud's Church is that it comes with all this fabulous greenery. Wow. Well, I got my fog, so that's fantastic. And here I am in Ludge Church. Absolutely wonderful little place. It's great to, if you're in the Roaches area, do try and make this one of your stops. Because although it's not the largest area, it's just a fantastic thing to walk through. It's really muddy as well normally, but fortunately the ground is frozen, so I can actually get over it really well. And I've done my drone shots, no problems, so hopefully they'll come out well. Again, there's only so much you can shoot, because if I try and go up high with the drone, I'll just end up with it stuck in a tree, which is bad by any stretch of the imagination. Now, let's have a look at the photographs I'm trying to do. Bloody battery ran out, so I had to switch it all over and set it down. Just one thing, if you're a Canon M50 owner like myself, and I dare say this is going to be great for the cameras, but I bought myself a Smallrig setup. To show you this thing here. If you do both photography and vlogging and that kind of thing, then this is really, really good. It's super sturdy. I got it on offer from the dreaded Amazon, but it's just really pleased I got it. I get easy access to the battery, even when I've got the 7200 on as well. So there you go, a little purchase I made for myself. Smallrig. I think it's great. Now, so I've set it up. This is what we're looking at. Oh, taking a picture. So I've set it up. Let's show you what's going on. All right, so the composition set up, I've gone with a landscape shot for this, because I've done quite a few portrait shots. So I'm going to try a few landscape just to see how that looks, and I'll show you the setup. Here it is. That's what I'm looking at, and this is where I've got it set. 1/10 f4. I often just rely on autofocus, because this camera does a pretty good job when the light's right, but with this fog, not so much. So I've manually focused it, and I think I'd recommend that. Oh, look at that! Look how the fog's creeping down through that gully. I don't know if you can see that. Here, let's just show you. I've dropped on here. Oh, got my finger in the way. I've dropped on. This is going to make for some lovely atmospheric shots. But here we go. So let's. I've turned the beeper off as well, because people said that beeping was really annoying. And there we go. Let's see how that comes out. One of the problems I find specific to this place is because you're shooting up to narrow ends, the light is always pretty bad. It's quite, even, you know, I've got all this fog, but it really causes a blowout of exposure up there. Filters is probably the best answer I can think of. If there's any professionals out there who can tell me the best way to compensate for that, please do. I'm all ears. But I just use ND filters, and I also try and get into crevices and corners so I can get shadowed areas and basically just avoid it. But yeah, any advice, please fire it my way. Always open to good advice. One of the images I saw as I was walking in to Gradbach was this tree. See it? Can't miss it really. Lovely little sort of lime green tree amongst all that brown, a little bit of sort of golden red russet up on the right. So I took a picture with the iPhone, which is okay, but the iPhone doesn't like fog, and thought I'd give it a go with the big lad. So I'll show you what the setup is. I've done a few different settings, try them out, see how they look. This one here, just so you know, got 1 second, f22. I've got the big lad, the 7200 on. So I've been zooming in and out just to try and see which is the best framing for it. But this is the kind of thing I'm looking out for. It's just off the road, beautiful yellowy lime leaves set amongst, you know, the thing with winter is everything's sort of brown or green. So this stark contrast in that framing I think could work. There's still a bit of fog around the back, which means the quite harsh light that's above it isn't hitting it too badly, and in fact illuminates the top quite well, I think. So let's see how that works out when I get home. I thought it was worth another visit. I'm keen to see how it goes. Well, I'm back at the car park. I've had a fantastic morning. Been really nice, good to get out. The cold weather, the snow, the ice, especially in this part of the Midlands, can make travel really difficult and getting to the sort of places where you want to do photographs. So I had to sit in, and of course the lockdown has kept me local. So it's been tough. All I've done is eat. That's it. All I've done is eat and eat and eat. And I've got piled the weight on, lost all the sort of suppleness I got from the exercise I had previous to Christmas. If it sounds like excuses, it probably is. Nobody forced me to eat all those Turkish delights, but you know what? Turkish delights, man. Anyway, I'm going to head up to the Roaches, I think. I can't go any further. That's pretty much my self-imposed limit. So yeah, let's see what occurs there, if anything. Hopefully something good. I got a few shots. Not many, granted, but still picked up a few, I think, interesting compositions. And one thing strange though, loads of trees have been knocked down here, like cut down, and there's a lot, you know, a lot with their arses in the air. They've got the roots showing, so I'm guessing the weather may have pulled them down, but I don't know, it just seems odd. But the top area, which is, see this beautiful trees, where I normally take a lot of my pictures, they're just all down. Every one has been cut down. I'm guessing it's for conservation, so in the long term a good thing, but these guys must have taken 40-50 years to grow to the size they're at. I don't know, seems odd. There's a lot of trees down this area alone. It's just the floor is covered in them. Look at that. Strange. Anyway, that aside, I know a rainstorm when I see one, and I'm going to get drowned. So I want to try and quickly get a few shots. This greenery is amazing, and I just think this with a bit of shadow in it's going to look lovely. So I'll do what I can. I'll take a few shots and I'll throw them up at the end of the video. Thanks for indulging me and watching this, my exploits today at Gradbach and the Roaches. If you do like it, please do comment if there's anything you like or don't like. If you think you've got advice to give, I'm always open to good advice. And subscribe if you want to see more. I do this and the drone videos. Couldn't get a drone out much today because of the fog. Probably could have flown it over here a bit now, but it was heavy fog when I came up. Now wasn't to know it was just all going to clear away so quickly. But there you go. But look at the sun hitting the grass there. Isn't it nice? Anyway, thanks again, and I'll see you for the next one.